Rebuilding after losing everything. That is the header of today's mailbag. Howdy, Fi guys. First off, I want to thank you both for the work that you guys are doing. Your show has been a much needed source of motivation and clarity as I try to reset financially after a tough couple of years. I'm writing in to share my story and hopefully hear your perspective. I'm currently 29, married with 3 kids, and the sole earner of our family of 5. Man's been busy. I work for the federal government, and last year we've made what we thought was a smart career and life move. I accepted a promotion that required us to relocate out of state, and it looks like a great opportunity. It looked like a great opportunity on paper, but it ended up being a terrible fit both professionally and personally. We sold our home and used the $75,000 of equity as a down payment on the new house in Florida. Last year, it became clear to us that we needed to get out. Bad work culture, poor environment for the family, and it's just not it for us. By chance, I landed in an interview back near our hometown and got the job. We decided to move back knowing we'd likely lose some money selling so soon, but we couldn't have predicted how much we'd actually lose. The Florida real estate market fell just as we listed our home. It sat on the market for months with no serious offers. Meanwhile, we're burning through our savings, paying a mortgage in Florida and rent in our home state. The mortgage is at 6.5%. We finally took the first decent offer we got to stop the financial bleeding. But between the loss on the sale, the realtor fees, living expenses, we wiped out our savings that we had worked so hard to build over the last few years. We are now starting over. Thankfully, we avoided major debt besides truck payment, but emotionally, it's been rough. My salary is $139,000, which is decent, but with 3 kids and the cost of living, it doesn't go as far as it used to. I'm currently saving $600 to $800 a month for short-term goals and trying to rebuild retirement savings too, but I can't help but feel way behind. I'm grateful for the job, for the VA loan eligibility, and for a chance to rebuild, but I can't shake the weight of the setback. I guess my question is, have you ever gone through something like this, or have you talked with others who have? And how long did it take to start feeling financially and emotionally stable again? I appreciate all that you do and looking forward to hearing your thoughts. From the market crashed, my plans went bust, now I rebuild because I must. Interesting. 3 kids and a wife. Wild. At 29. Wild.
Yeah.
That's
going fast.
Going fast. That's like I feel like we're back in the 50s
military
or something.
life.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
that military life.
I guess so. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. So it looks like they got a VA loan. Back in the hometown. That's cool. Back where he belongs. I love that. Yeah, selling a house is, oftentimes people think that, hey, you're selling a house, you must be making a profit. It's like, no. Realtor fees, closing cost fees, inspections, and all sorts of other crazy stuff. It really sucks a lot of that profit out, which is very unfortunate. But it seems like they're back in their hometown, making a good chunk of change. Now, I don't know exactly where that is. When I think hometown, I think like small town America was what I think hometown. I don't know. Maybe I hope it's not like New York City or anything like that, because 130,000 would be quite difficult. From what I've heard, it would be quite difficult in New York City. But I don't know, Chris. What do you think is going on here? What kind of advice can you bring to the table? I know you've dealt with this professionally with some of your clients, I'm sure. So what do we got?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first off, before we even get to that, I just want to say, this is why it's so important to plan for a rainy day. Like this person, they put in here that thankfully they didn't go into major debt. They avoided a lot of this because they planned ahead, because they took time out of their schedule beforehand to think, what happens if everything doesn't go right? Too many of us with our financial lives, with our life in general, we go through saying, hey, when everything works out perfectly, this is how the plan's going to flow. And unfortunately, the plan never flows the way that you want it to in your brain. There's always setbacks. There's always things. So this person, by planning ahead, by having savings, by living off of less than they were making for a good amount of time, they were able to weather this storm. Because I don't know when those storms are coming, but I know those storms are coming for all of us in every one of our lives. So first of all, I just want to say a kudos to our writer for having that, for being able to set that up a long time ago so that they could do that. Another thing that kind of I want to talk about is you mentioned it. So many people think like, well, real estate's always a great investment. Like it always goes up. It's never not worked out for people. Well, this is just another clear example that, yes, it is a great asset and it is an investment. And all investments are inherently risky. All investments, there are different shades of risk. There's like, some random meme coin to like real estate. They're not even in the same ballpark. You can call them both investments in quotation marks, but they're completely different things. That does not mean you say that it often goes up. It often comes up. Unfortunately, it becomes to people's brains, it always goes up. And that's not the way that the world works. There's always going to be moments of wax and wane. Things go up, things go down. And unfortunately, this person got caught in the down cycle. So have I experienced this myself? Yes, I have experienced this myself. And I've also worked with people who experienced this themselves. From what it sounds like, you're sitting in a relatively good position. I know that sounds shitty of me to say, especially with you saying like, I feel so bad, but you're able to save $600 to $800 a month for your short-term goals. I know you want to rebuild the retirement savings and you're only 29 years old, man. You have time. And there's something that comes up. It feels like in every 5 Friday feedback, but I can't help but feel like I'm way behind. Where is that coming from? Who are you comparing yourself to? Because to me, it sounds like you have a stable job, a family of 3, a home that you're renting. Who are you basing yourself off of? Your grandpa back in the 30s where he was able to buy a house right out of high school? Yeah. Somebody on TikTok? Do you really know everyone's financial issues? Because what you mainly do is you look at your neighbors, you're like, man, they just seem to have everything together. Just from looking at the front of the house, I know that they're financially stable. They have all these things. Most people, unfortunately, are living their life. The moment that something went wrong, they would have crumbled. Bankruptcy, moving back in with their parents. You were able to make it through for months while things were going poorly because of the hard work that you put in over time, because of the thought that you put. And that probably comes from your military background of having a contingency plan and a contingency plan to that contingency plan. When things go wrong, because they never will go wrong, what is our next course of action? Where else can I move and turn? So the biggest question you asked is, how long does it take to start feeling financially and emotionally stable again? It sounds like you can do it right now. The feelings of feeling emotionally stable, feeling financially stable, those are just feelings and they're ephemeral. They're going to pass. Right now, it sounds to me like you're focusing on just the negative. And both things are there. Both handles you can pull from. You can focus on the negative on, I used to have all this and everything was great and now I'm down here. Or you can say, wow, look at how good of a situation I'm in. I was able to sell the house. I have some savings. I'm not in much debt. We have a place that we're renting. I'm going to work out. There's ways to get through this. So when do you start feeling it? The moment that you choose to start feeling financially, emotionally stable again. If you sit there and wait for this feeling to magically hit you like a light bulb, you might be waiting for a long time, but you can choose to consciously say, I feel good. And to tell yourself every day, hey man, we're in such a good situation. Like, look at this. I'm back home with my family. I'm near my parents or whatever. Maybe my kids are near their grandparents. I'm near my childhood friends. All of these things are true. It's your brain that's choosing to focus on the one thing that went wrong. You moved for a job. It didn't work out. That sucks. That's life. What you did is you fell in love with the story of I moved to Florida. Everything works out. We stay here for a long time. I bought the house and it all works out. That story isn't reality though. And too many of us go through life railing at the world railing at the universe, the cosmos, for not following the script that we gave it in our brain. We get mad at our partners, get mad at our neighbors, get mad at society for not acting the way that we thought they should act. They acted the way that they did, So rather than being mad at the world, at the cosmos, at everything, you have to change the script and say, oh, the problem isn't that I had this thing of what I wanted to happen and it didn't change. The problem is that I had unreal expectations to what actually did happen. So I can't change what actually did happen. The only thing I can change is how I'm going to react to it, how the story that I'm going to give it. Because these two things are true. You can say, this is the worst decision ever. I lost so much money. This is so stupid. Or you can say, yeah, I took a jump. It didn't work out. This is part of life. Now I'm back home. My family's safe. I have 3 beautiful kids, a loving wife. I have a job. We're stable. And I get the chance to rebuild. I have the opportunity to rebuild. How lucky am I? So I hope that you choose to pull from the right handle. Obviously, there's probably stuff I don't know. You wrote a lot in here, but I don't know everything. So continue to work on what you're working on. This is not a race. You're not trying to beat somebody out. You're 29 years old, bro. You have so much time. You're doing really, really well. Most people aren't even thinking about this stuff until they're like in their 50s or 60s, maybe late 40s. So just keep working at it. I don't know who you're comparing yourself to, but compare yourself only to you and where you were yesterday, where you are right now. Don't compare yourself to where you were before buying the house, because that person is gone. Compare yourself to who you are right now. It'll get a little bit better tomorrow. I'm not asking you to go from where you are right now to being a multimillionaire. I'm only asking for 1% better. Yeah. And then after you get that 1%, you can choose to do another 1% or to stay right where you are. Either way, we support you. Anything, Dom?
No, I have nothing. That's beautiful. That's perfect. Perfect. I hope that all that helps. I think that helps more than just the person writing in. I think a lot of people feel like they're left behind. Like you said, it's a common theme of, man, I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. It's such a common theme. And like you said, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. How we can get better today. Because we don't know. We don't know. It's like the quote that we said on Monday. Let me pull it up real quick. You never know if tomorrow is coming. Right? Let's see. Maybe I don't have the quote written down. It was the quote about how we don't know if tomorrow exists. We do know that today exists. So act today as if tomorrow doesn't exist. And if tomorrow doesn't exist, we're not going to be comparing ourselves to our neighbors, Joe Schmo, or our friends. Enjoy the day, guys. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the day.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.